Hey everybody, Mark, 5 Angels Outdoor. Thanks for tuning in. I got the Bronco Raptor behind me, as you can see, and we've started doing some modifications. So that being the case, I just sort of wanted to give an update number one. We've got plenty to do still, but we got through a couple of items, so I figured I'd give you an update, let you know how the install went on these items, and any feedback, comments, or whatnot, just in case you wanted to put these same things on your Bronco. So thanks for watching. Let's take it through it and show you what we've done so far. All right, one of the things that we've done obviously is had the Bronco wrapped. So with this, we just wanted to be able to protect the factory eruption green paint. So we did it in a similar motif as we had on the Colorado Bison. So I went with a black hood matte finish, and then we did a tropical camo. Obviously tropical camo, we're down here in Florida, so it makes sense. It's a little more green, and I really like how this turned out a lot. There's a local shop here named Coders that did it for me. The difference between this pattern and what I did on the Bison was that I didn't go with such like a blown up version. So you can see that the patching, the camouflage pattern is a little more on the smaller side. So I think for the Bison, it was like a 300X. It was very large splotches and pattern. So I went a little smaller here, and I think it turned out great. It's really looking good. And with the Bronco Raptor, I know what everybody, you know, sort of complains about are these massive fenders, you know, and the fact that they stick out so much, they're black, don't match the body color, that type of stuff. So I definitely wanted to make sure to wrap the fenders, and I think by doing that, it's really incorporated them into the vehicle. They're not so, they don't stick out so much in a sense, and I think it really turned out great. So that's the big first thing that I'm gonna walk you through, is the fact that we did wrap it, protecting the paint. Let's let the pinstriping or any other things that, you know, go on the trail, let's let it impact the wrap and not necessarily that cool eruption green factory paint. So that's number one, and let's shift over and show you the next mod. All right, so the next modification we did is we installed this TrailRax Modular Roof Rack. You know, roof rack it's a big choice. So, I mean, I did a lot of research on a bunch of different roof racks, and in the long run, I decided to go with this TrailRax system. And I also added the Pak Rax sidebars here. So it complicated the install a little bit, and I'll walk you through it in just a minute. But with this TrailRax system, one of the cool things that you can see is that these sidebars right here have basically a 90-degree curved lip across the top. And the advantage here is strength. So that adds a lot of strength, a lot of rigidity. And that's what we're looking for. So based on what I want to get up here on this roof rack, you know, it helps not only static weight, it helps the rack's dynamic weight rating as well, you know, when we're on the trail. And that's a big plus. So, wind deflector here, we have the wind deflector. It's really molded right to the body. So I'm looking to hit it down the road at high speeds as of yet. I want to see how the wind is for this rack compared to the previous racks. But yeah, that's what we got so far. Now with this Pak Rax install, you know, really what the biggest piece of the puzzle was is that I had to remove the entire hardtop, the freedom panels and this back bit, because You know, I had to install this base system here. Basically, if I were to walk you into the vehicle and show you from the inside, you know, I had to remove the hardtop fully, pull it off, and then what that does is it utilizes the factory body bolts that hold the body panel. Remember, the Bronco is very modular, so the bolts to hold the body panel are right there. So what I had to do is I had to remove those bolts. We laid this piece down in, bolted it in back, and then actually put the roof back on. So it complicated it from a time perspective. What I do like about this is obviously I'm going to put some accessories up here on the sides. I have some plans already for one side. We'll see what I end up doing here. But what it does is this is just another way to add some more rigidity. This is a solid mounting point to the body, and then it connects up here to the roof rack in 2 spots, and it goes all the way through. So yeah, so I mean, it really works out great. So that's the Trax, the Pak Rax. Another one of the cool features of this TrailRax rack is that I can remove these roof panels here. If I want to get some sun, the weather's great, at night I want to look up at the stars, whatever I want to do, I can take this roof panel off without having to remove the rack. There's enough spacing between the way it's designed. There's enough spacing in this area that I can pull that panel off. So it just gives me another bit of freedom. So kudos to the TrailRax team for designing it that way. I think it's going to work out great. All right, the next modification that we did is right here in the rear. So a couple different parts going on here. The first thing that we have going on from American Adventure Labs, and you can see their logo, is this M.A.S.S, what they call their M.A.S.S spare tire carrier. So it's a platform. It grips onto your spare, and it utilizes ratchet straps to tie down. And then what I've done is I've added the side mount panels as well. And one of the features of this panel is that I could take my Maxtrax mounts that I was using on my previous rig, took those, and I can install those right to this. So now I have my Maxtrax back here. These things are super accessible. It works out great. And then what I plan to do, I'm not sure, at this point I'm not sure if I'm gonna mount something here on the sides. I've seen, obviously they make Rotopax mounts. You can see here where the nuts would go for Rotopax mounts. I mean, it's a Molly panel, so I mean, you could put anything there. I've seen people with the pack outs attached to here. My main thing that I'm going to do is I'm probably gonna put a case up here on the panel, whether it's one of my existing Roam cases or whatnot, but I'm gonna put a case up here, and I'm thinking this is where I'll keep my recovery gear. That way it's accessible outside the vehicle, easy to get at. So that's what I'll probably do here. This is probably gonna be a great place for recovery gear. And also, you know, if I'm not hitting the trail, I mean, I can just take that off and put it in the garage. I don't have to always be driving around with that, so that can save some weight. So the install here was relatively easy. I mean, it's mainly just assembling, you know, all the pieces, platform, the side pieces here. Everything has basically a nut and a bolt, and then getting it up on the tire. No, that's pretty easy. So yeah, the install here was pretty cool. We'll see how it goes, and let me take you through the next thing. All right, so one of the things that I had to do is, you notice the way that this platform sits is I've actually had to remove my third brake light. It just wasn't going to work with this platform. So what I did, obviously, because I would still have brake lights here on the factory tail lights, but what I did is I installed an Oracle LED spare tire ring. So we have back here behind is we have this LED red. It's very visible, shows up great. So so yeah, we're gonna see how that works out. Should work out great. That in itself was an easy install. My only feedback, and it's probably the same from other people that have installed it on a Bronco, is even though it says it's universal Jeep Bronco type kit, the way that the camera mounts to the tire mount, there's a little lip around the edge. So what I did versus some of the videos that I watch is I was able to modify. I just put a little cut and bent up the lip, which allowed me to not have to modify the brackets at all. And it really worked out great in that sense. But this is super bright, works with the brake light. Basically, you can either tap in to the existing wiring harness that went to the third brake light, or you can cut and then obviously marry it up and whatnot. However you want to do it, it works either way. It does come with some wire taps, but yeah, that's been great. So that should be about it. I do have a bunch more things to do over the course of the next, in my mind, 3 to 4 days. I'd like to get everything dialed in pretty quickly here, so I can start hitting the trails and get you some trail videos. But yeah, so we'll call it the first of our modification videos. I'm definitely gonna have some more. So just stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And if not, throw a like. If you have any questions on any of these items that I've done so far, throw some comments in there. I'll be happy to answer your comments. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for our upcoming finishing off videos of the rest of our mods, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.